Hey, this is that time we woke up in a podcast and had to explain manga. Our heated adventures over analyzing manga we find interesting, otherwise known as the Over Manga Cast. This week we got a manga for you by the name of Gatchiakuta. 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 God damn it. Gatchiakuta by Kei Urana. We read chapters 1 through 11. I'm sorry about this one. Enjoy the episode.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Over Manga Cast. My name is Sam, and as always, here at the top of the show, we talk about our familiarity with what we read this week. I've played Borderlands, and I played Fallout, and frankly, I've consumed a lot of media that is a lot like this one, but never this one itself. Jake, how about you?
Never even caught a glimpse of it before.
Matt, how about you?
Yeah, no, just saw this on our manga's top 10 and saw it was getting an anime, so it seemed like something we should read.
Excellent. And Jay?
Yeah, this was a totally new one for me. But I can say ahead of this episode that I was very well impressed.
Open up with, hey kids, have you ever watched Arcane?
Sam, this was at least original.
Indeed, but a sort of thesis statement as we open with a little plush puppy doll that has a tear in the neck, some of the fluff sticking out, and a young girl crying about how it's ripped. Her mother's like, "Oh no, and it was brand new too. That's such a shame. Oh, well, it wouldn't be as good if we repaired it. So how about we throw it away and get you a new one?" "Okay, I want a kitty this time." Which, like, not throwing shade on the kid. She's a kid, but that's like very childlike, innocent cruelty. It's just like, nah, I don't care about this thing anymore.
Except it's the mom facilitating it, so it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
That's sort of the part that like sticks out because the child is taking on traits of the parent as children often do.
I mean, the thesis statement of this entire like first couple of chapters is that they live in a throwaway society. Like the idea of trash is not only like a thing they have to deal with, it is an entire worldview to these people.
Yes.
If something isn't in perfect condition, isn't fitting into its proper mold, you throw it away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thing that immediately comes to mind, and we don't get to it at least in the chapters that we read, but how it probably belongs in one of the predictions, but I wonder if we'll start applying it even in the broader sense, if you know what I mean. Euthanasia.
Well, I mean, we kind of do get into that.
We do see the
Kind of.
executions.
Yeah, the eugenics is not something that's come up yet, but
We didn't
I
kill
wonder.
them. We just throw the undesirables in a bottomless pit where we throw our garbage.
Yep. But,
Don't steal that. That's our garbage. Come in the main character who steals garbage.
yes. He's a little trash gremlin. He roots through the garbage.
Yeah. And there is a quote at the beginning that seems to be a thesis statement for the entire manga, which is that like when when an object is cared for, it is said that it can develop a soul. So I wonder what happens to the things that are discarded. What do they develop?
Mm-hmm. We do get something a development on that idea later on, but it really goes to show just how much this city cares about its image of like uber cleanliness.
even more so than cleanliness, it's order that they care about because like the image of everything being in its place, like even the trash is like set up in a certain way.
Yeah, because just the act of rooting through the trash is enough of an offense for these guards to pull their guns and fire on this character.
Who is the size of a teenager.
That guy is the trash thief. He steals trash. Quick, murder him.
He's got some sick fucking moves, though, as he matrix dodges bullets and then triangle jumps off of a truck to make his grand escape, which establishes some of the crazier acts of physical durability and strength that he pulls off.
This is a shonen. He's got Charles Atlas superpowers.
Yeah.
In addition to whatever the gimmick, like main gimmick ability of the series.
really, the art in this manga is great. It's very, very interestingly stylized. Everything is super angular. It makes great use of shadows. The expressions are to die for.
I was about to say, it's got that 2010s edge. Like it's kind of like Soul Eatery, maybe a little Dead Man Wonderland. It's got that like bite to it that was really popular around that time.
I also couldn't help but notice shades of Chainsaw Man, particularly in the monster design, but in a couple of places as well.
Yeah.
I'd say the monster design veers heavily into Bleach with a little bit of Chainsaw Man sprinkled on, but
yeah,
the monsters are just hollows. Let's just say that right now.
Hollows.
Ew, yeah. Making the connection.
So our main character makes his noble escape from the cops with the trash, namely the little stuffy of the dog. We cut to a scene in the beautiful inner city where a similarly scruffy-looking man is making his way through town. This is Regto. This is our main character's adoptive father figure that we'll find out later. And I'm pretty sure that's the book that Maskman McVillain has later in the chapter.
Huh.
It is. I noticed.
Interesting. I had forgotten about that.
I only noticed that on flipping through as part of the episode, but he's got a book that he's tucking away inside his layers of like robes and scarves and whatnot.
The idea behind this scene, like to distract you from that little plot detail, is the people from the like pristine, pretty part of the city see him, and it's like, oh, is he one of those outside or tribes folk, is what they call him.
I assumed like they actually meant like some kind of indigenous tribe, like tribalism here. I don't know. Did anyone else get that?
Well, they use the term, but it's really just the slums.
Yeah, like they just say, dude, you guys live in the ghetto.
It's kind of interesting that they're like, okay, so long ago we kicked all of the prisoners out of our city. They now live on the outskirts of the city because we don't throw them into the pit because they aren't garbage yet. But while they live outside the city, we want them to wear these vaguely indigenous person's dress, which doesn't make any sense.
I was confused.
We find out later they live on a floating island that may or may not be man-made.
No. There's there's various questions I have of this world that, I mean, I'm more curious about, appreciate a little bit more world building, I guess.
Me too. This thing sort of smacks of like missing historical context, where like maybe the people who live in this nice part of the city drove out the original indigenous population and then retroactively justified it as we were exiling criminals. But the name tribesfolk stuck around despite that. I don't know. I'm spitballing on that one, but
I mean, I thought this just falls squarely in the category of it's post-apocalyptic. Post-apocalyptic nonsense happened. And
there's a lot about this world that hasn't been established to us yet.
There are a bunch of trash people who live in trash people houses. Is there trash made of house or there? Wait, no. God damn it.
What are you trying to say?
It's a bunch of trash people who live in trash houses. Is their house made of trash, or is their trash made of house?
They scream, for they do not know.
We got there in the end.
So we get a picture of the U.S.-Mexico border.
I mean, you're not wrong, but when we see the divide between the rich and the poor, the only thing I could think of was that like kind of older science fiction movie Elysium, which was, hey,
oh my God.
let's jump the border from Earth to get to space.
That was a classic.
It was that movie had a point to be made, and I don't think it made it very elegantly.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, this manga has a lot of similarities in at least aesthetic terms.
I think the manga is at least very clear that its thesis statement is like garbage. Is like the society treats things like garbage and throws them away the second they're not perfect.
Yep.
Is really what we're getting here, because the trash belongs in their trash holes, and then the trash are thrown off the side of this cliff which they think is a pit, but we find out this is a floating island.
We also have an interesting scene here with our main character, Rudo. Even in the tribesfolk part of town, he's not very well liked and is looked down upon and bullied by other kids. So our main character experiences tribesfolk on tribesfolk violence.
Except we're not sure if the tribesfolk are a real thing or if an imagined group created by the ruling structure, which,
Yeah.
We then find that in this lower caste system, he is also a lower caste system because while they are all descended from criminals, his dad did a murder, and no one has done a murder until his dad did a murder. And his dad
I
was sent
remember
up
what I
dead.
was talking about. I was talking about the fact that it appears, at least at this point, that the kids themselves did not commit any crimes, but they appear to have been descendant or related to people who have done crimes, and their whole family gets banished or whatever, I guess. So
Good old sins of the father.
yeah, quite literally. So I mean, when Rudo does his crime or does his rummaging, and everyone is on him about you shouldn't be in town stealing trash and blah blah, it's more of a defensive posture. They don't want him drawing more negative attention to the slums.
Yeah, because there are also adults that make those comments, and it's very clear, from perspective, they're like, hey, you're drawing attention to us. Good, your actions have consequences for the rest of us, which it's still not ultra fair, but also that's a more understandable perspective. And then there's the other teenagers who are just bullying him.
We have a thing here where our main character really can't catch a fucking break. He is getting attacked from all sides. The system of the city oppresses him for being a tribesfolk. His fellow tribesfolk get on him for being the son of a murderer. It's no wonder he's a short-tempered, explosive little shonen protag.
He is shonen protag, anti-social edition.
Except for his one childhood friend, the girl who also likes him.
Chiao.
Very shallow person. She's cute though.
She has feelings for him.
Yes. Yeah. And he has feelings for her in turn, and after he gives his death glare to the bullies to scare them off, he tries to give Chiwa the little stuffed dog that he had looted and fixed up. It's here, I'm not gonna sell it in my scavenging business. It's supposed to be for you. But he's stumbling over his words, and Chiwa's mom calls her home, so he never gets to finish giving the gift.
It is worth noting, he sews the neck back, and then he puts a scarf on it, and you'd never tell it was damaged.
Mm-hmm. Yep, showing,
honestly, it looks better with the scarf.
Further emphasizing exactly how wrong the rich mom was. But he returns home to his adoptive dad, Regto, Mr. Cool Goatee Man, who has witnessed the entire thing and mocks him for not nutting up and telling the girl that he likes her.
Whoa. Nutting up comes after.
Whoa.
That does sound like
to
something
nut up
you'd
before
say.
you nut out.
Oh.
I like adopted dad who veers into older brother territory with how he talks to his son.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's kind of adoptive father, but more cool uncle who has you for an extended period of time.
Yeah, they have the dynamic of a sibling duo where the parents are out of the picture, so he's the authority, but they still kind of there's a kind of camaraderie to them.
I mean, I also just don't know how old he is, so he might just be 20s, late 20s, 30s, but he's just in this position of having to care for him.
Yeah. He looks very world weary, but he also looks like he could be quite young as well.
The important thing is he took in Rudo, after, his dad was yeeted into the pit for murder and his mom died off screen, dead anime mom disease.
And at this point, I'm like, well, he's going to find his. It is just a matter of time. It's either going to happen right away or it's what the series is building up to. I honestly kind of expected them to stick around in the city and like build up there and then have a big moment where like he chooses to go into the pit. But
I have an idea, and pretty much the only reason, like, why did they have to mention his parents were criminals and his parents had been executed and then thrown into the pit? They could have just, going into this, have his parents be dead and like not provide the exposition of your parents are in the pit.
Yeah, because they're queuing up that he's gonna find the dad down there.
Yeah,
we also right here have the weird nonsense that his dad apparently also cursed him with like demon black hands that have like scars that wrap up his arms.
100% dad is some kind of wizard down there.
He's the trash wizard.
He is the trash wizard. He's the one who's creating these monsters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of gotta admire the balls on this manga for having this entire like long first chapter establishing, oh, here's the dynamic of the city, and here's how Rudo fits into or doesn't fit into the society. Whoa, here's his cool adoptive dad, here's his love interest, here's all these plot threads, and then end of the chapter. He gets yeeted down into Adventure World, and we never go back to the sphere, as far as I know.
Well, that's his end goal, is what it finds out. Because as he's kind of walking around, we find out Regto gave him these gloves to cover up his like super gnarly looking frostbite hands, and he loves those gloves like a little baby. And we got to take good care of things because they have souls if you take good care of them. And then there's literally just a horror movie villain who occasionally just walks through panels and looks directly at the camera. So I don't know if he's haunting main character dude or if he's haunting me. It's unclear.
I don't know either, and I don't like him. He's very spooky.
Yeah, he's right there. Look. Yeah. You can see all the details on his mask right behind.
But yeah, so Rudo eventually works up the nerve to talk to Chiwa because he'd been told by Regto that he'd get beaten up. Because Regto's been having to deal with this will they won't they bullshit for years at this point, and he's just like, just say something. And then we cut to them having a cute moment, and it's just like, Regto's just being hard on you because he loves you too. He loves me. Wait, too? And then there's just a a perfect middle school romance moment of like, oh, I didn't mean to say I like you. Fuck.
Yeah, it's so cute, and he gives her the plush, and he's super excited, and both of them are being so cute. She says she's gonna treasure the little plush puppy forever. It's so romantic. You almost forget the fact that they were doing this as they watched an execution.
Yeah, because the crux of their conversation is, isn't it messed up because we live here, we will be witness to death eventually, regardless of having a choice in the matter?
Rudo freaks out, runs straight home, crashes into my sleep paralysis demon. Sleep paralysis demon stares directly at the camera as he picks up the book and walks off screen. I don't know what's going on there. Rudo goes back home and sees that his father figure has been brutally murdered by a sword through the chest.
Yeah.
Goes, oh, Rudo, I want you to destroy this crap sack world and everyone in it. What?
You need to run.
Now run!
Run away.
Too late. The cops are here immediately. And I'm like, this is the most cops this slum has probably ever seen. Because there's literally like 9 police officers who didn't stop the murder, but sure came in here to go, Rudo, you've got your father's blood on you. This must be your murder. What? No, he's still alive. What? Oh.
You've got his blood all over you. Yeah, because I was checking to see if he was okay, and you assholes tased me, so I fell on him.
It's a shame that tribes folk commit like 90% of the crimes on other tribes folk.
Quick, put some crack on him.
Sprinkle some crack on him.
No, you don't understand. I didn't do anything. I'm telling you, I didn't kill him. It was so
Punch!
It's, I don't know. It's unclear if these police are just corrupt or he's just like, I don't know, or if Mask Man set this up.
Yeah,
that part's
police are just
unclear.
racist.
Yeah, I don't think
police are racist, but that has nothing to do with them like being involved in this.
Yeah, ultimately, I don't think it matters very much because we don't have enough information to know one way or the other. Is we know what the cop's opinion is of the people in this area.
Mhm.
Like, because I mean, like, not for nothing, there is to a degree, it is kind of suspicious that he's standing over the body like this. But it takes a couple of seconds of like looking at the information and seeing that it doesn't add up, and he's an innocent bystander here, and they're not bothering to do that. Whether that's because they're in on the plan and they know they're supposed to, go after him, or if they're just, not paying attention. Ultimately, the end goal or the end result is the same.
Yeah. So anyway, Rudo's strung up just as the same guy we saw just getting executed for something else. He's being sent off the cliff, and he's trying to say, like, I didn't do it, but he's already sentenced, so they don't care. And he's looking out, and he sees Chiwa in the in the audience, basically.
In the crowd, yeah.
And calls out to her, and she kind of just goes, I believed in you, but you're the son of a killer after all. Doesn't look at him, and just drops the doll. And, such a good scene. I really enjoyed that. Because it's like, I don't know. It kind of like brings back the earlier part. Like the doll is the metaphor itself is like the society just throws things away the second they're not perfect.
Yeah. And that's the thing that really gets me about the way that the tribesfolk treat Rudo. Like they themselves are being oppressed by this system, but they turn all their frustration onto the next level down in order to, vent that, because actually fighting back is either too difficult or too dangerous. So they just find a new scapegoat to throw away. Yeah. They are as much a part of this system as the people that created it.
Yeah. And, as we were talking about it, the thing that sort of dawned on me a little bit is that Rudo's a little bit guilty of this too. Because, like, he's at a despair event horizon, so, like, not to say that I expect rationality from him. I think that this is where it's going with it, but, like...
He goes on quite the tirade.
He goes on a tirade. Like, he's being presented with, this person is, like, having a lapse of faith in me, so I'll burn down everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's kind of having the same reaction.
He is literally spitting mad. Drool is falling out of his mouth.
Like, also the art goes full, like, super edgelord that I love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's him just spitting vitriol at the crowd. And, like, the crowd itself kind of devolves into, like, these pen scribbles because he's no longer looking at individual people. And then notices the, like, serial killer in the crowd, calls him out, and just goes, like, I'm going to send you all to hell, every last one of you. Like, just... pure vitriol at like, this system is broken and I am going to destroy it.
Yeah, I appreciated that scene. So powerful.
Like every panel of his like tirade is great, but I particularly like the one of him being dropped where he's like, I'm going to send you to hell. He's this shadowy figure, like he's being dropped, but it could almost look like he is leaping up there. A shadow of their sins come to deliver vengeance. He falls through darkness, pops through some clouds, falling into other clouds, sees a fucking giant.
Yeah, not sure what to think about that.
He sees a giant thing, a big guy
with like smokestacks coming out of his back.
Yeah, big dude, big fella. And then he finishes falling and lands in a big pile of trash.
That trash doesn't look particularly soft, so good on him.
Quite amazing he's not dead.
Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, see how what people throw away is not exactly nice, fluffy things.
Yeah, apparently this society is constantly just throwing microwaves and air conditioners off the side of the...
Hey, you know how many...
what else are you going to do with them?
Yeah, right? You're gonna get someone to fix it? You might as well just buy a new one.
They live in a perfect society that doesn't need air conditioning, but they still keep making air conditioners so they have something to throw out.
As something consumerism.
It's about the principle.
Oh my god, it makes me wonder how they produce all this shit, because like they've toxified the entire world unless there's multiple of these floating islands. But imagine they live in this like post-scarcity society where they can like print stuff out of atoms and they still just toss refuse away.
Yeah. I love this because main character survived, immediately gets chased by Waco Mundo level hollows. We find out that the entirety of Earth is a Waco Mundo wasteland, but with trash.
Mm-hmm.
And then
this monster is so cool. It's got freaking power lines sticking out of its back as spines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I want one.
I love.
No, you
how...
don't, Jacob. Stop.
Boop the snoot.
Jacob,
No.
they smell like trash. They are made entirely of trash.
But they're friend shaped.
Okay.
Look at those fangy teeth.
Anyway, but yeah, like I just love how post-apocalyptic Mad Max these first couple of chapters are, and then it's almost like the mangaka went like, no, this is actually a really big decision. I'm not going to commit to that. And then we find out he just landed in one of 6 worst places on Earth.
No man's land.
He got dropped right into the level 100 area.
Where you have to wear a respirator, otherwise the poisonous air kills you within 15 minutes, which my boy is running around doing exercise for way longer than 15 minutes, so he might have superpowers.
We also don't know how long he was unconscious after falling.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like, this goes back into the falling thing of like, boy, that trash doesn't look very soft. Yeah, he's got Charles Atlas superpowers. This is just like the my father was thrown into the pit is queuing up. He is going to go in the pit at some point. This is also queuing up. Main character it has main character powers.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like evil All Might.
He does throw up blood a lot, so they've got that in common.
Yeah.
As you do.
But as he's about to fall into despair, he remembers Regto's dead body, picks up a pipe, and goes to fight the giant monsters with just a pipe.
And apparently beats the shit out of them, which
yeah, he does pretty good.
It's very interesting because he fights some of these later on and acts almost like an entirely different person, which is...
Blame it on the adrenaline of the situation.
Yeah.
He was in fight or flight mode when later he wasn't.
Or the toxic air gives him superpowers.
Or that.
But anyway, Gojo shows up. I mean...
We have another Gojo.
I'm just... I kind of mean this genuinely. I'd love to read a manga that's like a modern manga that doesn't just have a Gojo in it.
I mean, the memes were strong, okay? The memes have made it into actuality that now he is the meme character. It used to be Sasuke, it still is Sasuke, and now we have Gojo, who's joined those ranks.
Yep.
Eventually,
but Jujutsu Kaisen has a Sasuke.
Yeah, no, eventually, like casts of shonen anime and manga are going to be made up of like the meme character TM. There's enough diversity in protagonists. We haven't gotten our like designated protagonist yet. Because we've got mentor and we've got rival.
The dude in the sick mask and like grungy like Borderlands outfit with his umbrella. He puts a gas mask on Rudo, who's like, "Hey, who the hell are you? What is this place? Shh, kid, be quiet. I can't hear a goddamn thing you're saying. Will you speak up already? I'm telling you to pipe down, kid. We're not underground. Don't be so damn loud. Will you speak up? Shut the f*** up, kid. Those monsters are attracted to human noises. Ah, shit. Now you made me yell and they're coming for us.
Now I gotta reveal that I could have killed them all before with barely any effort.
Allow me to use my super cool blade umbrella with its really fucking stupid name.
Yeah. I don't know.
I love how much this manga will have stuff that looks really, really, really cool and then have the worst, most uncool names. Because he sword fights these monsters with his umbrella and then like pops up. Mary Poppins floats over the main big one.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
And then goes to do like the drop attack with the tip of the umbrella. And he's like, behold, my Umbreaker Octa Shredder. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Oh, I like how the art style is very 2010s, but the idea of shonen battle manga where everyone just has like a magical everyday item is very like mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh, those cycles of nostalgia, man.
Mm-hmm.
They got me.
People start making manga that they grew up on,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is gonna be forever.
Yeah. Hey,
One day,
so
someone's gonna make a manga based on Kagurabachi, and then the snake will just keep eating its own tail.
Oh my God.
And a robberess of disappointment.
So it's like, who are you? He goes and takes off his scary mask to reveal he's actually super hot. I'm Engine, a humble cleaner. I took off my mask, it's toxic air.
Yeah, because we get the aesthetic for this manga introduced by this character, and then every character going forward. It's very like punk rock apocalypse, and I kind of dig it. And everyone's got a gas mask on, but because they're anime characters, they have to take the gas mask off so you can see their face.
Yep, they've all got gas masks. They've all got crazy hairdos and wacky outfits. It's really freaking cool.
I don't know. I don't think too many of them, except for our protagonist and one of the cleaners who actually has crazy hair.
Well, yeah, the Kill la Kill character has to have crazy hair. What else does she use those scissors for?
I can think of some reasons.
I'm not the only one.
Not interrogating that. But we have a flashback where Regto being like, "Hey, animism is real. What? Take care of your stuff."
Okay.
Be gone.
Can do.
I do like Engine. He is very like punk rock, like 20aughts, 2010s sort of character, where he's super cool and he's here to help, but he's also kind of goofy.
Well, it's got that like irony poisoned. You can't just be cool. You have to like. Isn't it crazy how he's like posing when there's no reason to, kind of?
Yeah,
undercutting.
Guys, we've already said he's Gojo. I'm not really sure what else you're saying here.
the thing about how the point being he has wrapped Rudo up in chains and is dragging him along like I'm rescuing you.
Yeah, Gojo.
You're kidnapping me.
Yep, that's very Gojo. I don't.
Yeah.
Gojo was a mad lad, certified mad lad.
Anyway, now I finished rescuing you by throwing you to the wolves. They're gonna find that out.
I mean, from what he's used to, I'm sure he assumes like the best way to explain it is to have you experience it head on.
All right. Anyway, I need to get back up to my home so I can go and commit bloody murder upon everybody who's ever wronged me. Yeah, there's no way you're getting back up there. Bullshit. Well, survive this initiation hazing and join my cool raider organization, and maybe you'll get back up there. Wait, what do you mean initiation hazing? Oh, I've been thrown into a gas station with human traffickers.
Who pretend to be friendly, but then go, by the way, we hate all you people who come from the Spherites. Because, yeah, you came from a floating island. This is the regular Earth, blah, blah, blah. You throw our garbage down on us. We hate it. We're going to kill you, or we're going to sell your body to people who want to kill you.
Yeah. We're going to torture you.
It's more of that thing where it's like the groundlings are clearly being oppressed by the floating island people who are heavily polluting their land. And these people they look at Rudo and they just see Spherite. They don't see a member of another underclass from the sphere. So they're like, yep, we're just going to go ahead and sell you to some people who are going to do some real to you out of revenge. Sucks to suck. Hey, eat some garbage. I'm going to force feed you this garbage and put my fingers in your mouth so that you're forced to choke on it. Oh, fucking strip the meat off of my fingers by biting me.
Yep, and then choose it. Then garbs down like a dog the pile of trash in front of him, and then decides to have his shonen hero speech, but looks so unhinged. I'm like, my God, dude, this isn't the moral you think it is. It's not garbage. It's still totally edible. Every last one of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, is he gonna eat them?
I thought that too.
Is Bro gonna go full cannibalism? Like, I don't.
I mean, he did strip the meat off that guy. I want to be clear. He didn't bite this guy's fingers off. He bit down and then ripped away. There are just the finger bones there now.
That doesn't make any sense, because
Yeah,
the
that's not how
tissue,
fingers work. Yeah.
the connective tissue between the digits would have snapped because he ripped the tendons. I don't know what's going on here. Magic's what's going on here.
Yes, obviously.
It makes for the edgier image.
Yeah.
He then thinking you get to decide who gets thrown out.
Yeah. And because this guy is just an OC I drew in high school, he rips the chains out of the wall and proceeds to start beating the person with his own bound change. And as I'm saying this out loud, I realize this is an exalted character.
Hey, I didn't say it this time.
Yeah. Well, this is my exalted character, is why.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, the infection is spreading.
And he grabs onto the chain and it like shifts form into his Keki Genkai.
It turns black and spiky. Like, it's...
Yep.
So here's the thing. It is cartoonish and goofy and stupidly over the top. The reason why it works is because it's done with such confidence.
Uh-huh.
Like it's stupid.
It is all being done. It is all being done with 200% sincerity.
But yeah, it's being done with enough sincerity that it manages to work despite that, or even because of it.
Which is why I forgive their stupid name for magic users. Because Engine's sitting up on a cliff watching all this, like, I knew it. He's one of the people with the power to give life to objects. A giver.
I just realized what this is really reminding me of. And it's got that level of kind of cheesiness and self-awareness, but it still pretends like everything's super dark and edgy. And the timelines for the inspiration lineup, this really feels like Kingdom Hearts in a lot of places.
You're right.
Gotta get those keyblades.
I mean, when he's wielding the chains, they basically turn into keyblades.
Yeah, it has the keyblade aesthetic.
He's just somebody's edgy OC version of Sora.
Yeah, so Matt's.
He even came from another world.
Yep. There you go.
Oh my God, did this start as Kingdom Hearts fanfiction?
It could have. The human traffickers, they're just like, if we can just get the chain away from him, he won't have his powers anymore. That's how this magic system works. So they knock the chain away, and it's like, all right, cool, we've disarmed him. He's just a kid again. He grabs a random, like, discarded tire, causes it to grow spikes, and they're like, wait, what do you mean he can use more than one object? And I love this panel. It's the Raider's terrified face, and Engine hyped out of his goddamn mind. He's popping off like he's watching finals at EVO.
And we get Rudo about to just murder this guy when Engine comes in. She's like, whoa, hold on. I just wanted to see you do this cool shit. Probably should have stopped you before you murdered all the other guys. But don't kill this guy.
No need to take this any further. And Rudo snaps out of it and then immediately starts bleeding from numerous orifices because he just burned way more power than his body is trained to do.
It's got a great ending page, which is just Engine going like, hey, join the cleaners. They need a talent like yours. And just a perfect little 3-panel page of him like, I don't wanna. Like, end of the manga, great.
Yeah, this is very aughts and 2010s coded.
Which I'm just gonna say, considering the staff drawings all look like octolings.
They do.
I have a vague idea of the inspirations.
This wears its inspirations on its sleeve.
Yeah, I'm not gonna knock it. It's cool as hell. So he gets taken to the doctor. Old lady.
In their city, which is a giant like fortress made of sheet metal and graffiti.
Yes, it's Megaton.
A little bit.
It's Megaton, but if the guys from Windbreaker drew all over it. You got lucky, boy! Any longer using that power in your untrained body, you'd be dead! Calm the hell down, old man. I'm an old lady!
Then that character just keeps saying, I'm an old lady for the rest of the scene.
And then we never see her again.
I like how in Volume 2, when it's going over the characters, it again notes that she's an old lady.
Yep.
Yeah. Be a recurring character.
We get a scene at a burger shop that is so ridiculously spacish that we kind of get confirmed that this city is the size of a regular city and isn't as post-apocalyptic as you think, because this engine just does, you're like, this is the beginning of a shonen battle manga. Here is your exposition on the world.
Yeah.
And it's cool. We find out that like things have souls, and that soul is called an anima, and that things that are mistreated like garbage, that anima is tainted, and that coalesces in these things called like demons or
the trash beasts.
Trash beast, yeah.
And like givers are people who are able to like who have cared for an item long enough that that item like uses its anima to give them power.
Those are called vital instruments, and only a vital instrument can destroy a trash beast.
This does have a bit of proper noun syndrome.
Yeah. But like this city is the thing that makes it feel like kind of the most Borderlands to me. Like it's all junkyard aesthetic and sheet metal and gritty, but like there's still civilization.
It's actually like a really pretty established civilization too, because he kind of like there's a brief thing where he goes like, well, why don't you just live in walled off fortresses? And it's like, well, humans don't like being kept in cages. And I'm like, yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it works. And it's good. It's good world building. I like it.
So anyway, Not Gojo sells the kids clothes because he can't walk around looking like a spherite. He's gonna get killed. Like that is just gonna happen.
It also further reinforces a little character trait of Rudo's that are like, boy is a space cadet. He's got less than 0 in his perception score. Negative wisdom type beat. He is always the last to figure anything out, even when it's right in front of him. Because it's only when Engine says, yeah, I sold off your old clothes in order to get you some more appropriate duds for the surface. Here's the leftover cash from pawning your outfit. What do you mean you sold my clothes? You just figured that out. Now you've been wearing this all afternoon.
Yeah, he's wearing like a pillowcase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe he told him that he was going to go get his stuff like washed or something. I don't know.
Engine doesn't strike me as that kind of guy. He just did it and waited for Rudo to figure it out.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, the bag of money is given to him and it's stolen by a cat because we need to set up a pointless shonen rivalry battle that for the longest time I thought wasn't going to be a rival battle, and then at the end it just flips a switch and has the fight happen anyway, which I kind of like.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Well, after all, we need our Sasuke. That's one of the 2 established shonen character tropes.
Yeah.
That we can't escape.
We get rich boy Sasuke. Well, no, Sasuke's rich. No, this is just
Is
Sasuke.
he? Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into Naruto lore, but we can talk about whether or not Sasuke is rich.
He's got all of his family's money. It doesn't come up much, but he doesn't live in squalor like Naruto does, even though they're both orphans.
Yeah.
What's his name? Big Bro didn't loot the Uchiha Manor, I guess, before he left. Rookie mistake. Anyway,
Itachi?
Itachi.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
Itachi. Yeah, when are we doing a Naruto episode?
Please no.
Anyway, Rudo runs after the cat. And he's like, I need something to catch it with. And so he grabs a staff with a crook in it and manages to pin the cat with that and get his money back. Other Shonen Protag dude goes up like, hey, that's mine, you little shit. Give it back. What do you mean? It's my money. Not the money, the stick. It's just a stick. This stick here's my treasure. Look at the cool Bankai form it's got.
And it becomes a glaive.
Sam, I love the choice of accent you've given him.
He's way too twinky for the amount of like deep I'm making his voice, but he says, that's my stick.
He's got like the Kanzai dialect, like hick kind of thing.
Yeah.
You decided to go like fried greens and mashed potatoes.
God.
I mean, very southern, yeah.
I
went
was
like
just
backwards.
I was just saying I find his character design very attractive.
Yeah, that's why you like it when his voice is like this. You've got some real pretty skin.
Anyway.
Yeah, so it's really funny that they set this fight up and it's literally the end of volume 1 and I'm like, oh, I know why you did this.
Yep. So he's like, I'm with the cleaners. I'm Zanka. I can't.
Zanka Nijiku.
Nijiku. Yes.
Nijiku. Probably. I don't know.
Engine told me to show you the ropes, Mr. Big Potential. So come on, let's scrap already. And Bruto has this flashback of Regto being like, kid, you need to stop picking fights all the time. I can't keep mopping up your mistakes. Have you ever tried, I don't know, meeting someone halfway, seeing things from their perspective? Whoa, I never thought of that. So
Canonically dense.
Well, you say that, but this is a skill most shonen protagonists do not have because they are either a doormat and let everyone walk over them, or they like are always
Act
looking
now.
for a fight.
Yeah, act now, think later.
Meanwhile, he's just like, I can see from your perspective how what I did was kind of a jerk move. I'm sorry about that. That was not my intent. And then from that, Zonka's
okay. No, sorry, man. I kind of flew off the handle there. But no, it's okay. No harm, no foul. Listen, let's be friends. I'm here to train you.
That actually works really cool. By the way, these gloves are my power, so it's cool that you've got a stick.
Hey, your gloves are really neat. And he's like, and he's got a grin on his face, and Rudo's like, wow, a smile can really change a person's face. Maybe I should try smiling.
No, please, no trash gremlin.
I'm not joining the cleaners. I'm just helping till I can reach my goal.
We established that Rudo does not know how to smile. He has had a very sad childhood. So
he looks so demonic. I love it.
He looks demonic, and then he's like, well, better close my mouth because I can't do a tooth smile. And then he looks so fucking full of himself.
It's like the Anya.
Oh, it is the Anya. And then we get the two main characters facing off with their cool black energy weapons. I just really like the rug pull that they were going to set up a fight and then not do the fight because they just talk to each other like human beings. And then they had the fight anyway.
Yep. Rudo just grabs the first thing he can find as his weapon with his gloves that turns anything into a vital instrument. We don't see what it is until the sword fighting starts, at which point, Rudo gets bapped in the face by the glaive. He's getting his ass kicked a little bit. He goes to actually do a counter swing. Zanka dodges it real casual and cool like. A little something gets on his cheek. He parries and it's like, wait, what's that on my face? What did you hit me?
Yeah, my boy's fighting with a toilet plunger. And apparently this toilet plunger was caked in human feces, and I'm like, that's not how you use a plunger. I don't.
It's a body sucker.
I can see why you threw this one out because it was caked in human feces.
Which is like, it had to have been recently thrown away because it's still liquid.
I don't understand, but maybe in a very horrifying way. This is part of the magic system in this universe where it's associated with the toilet is able to manifest human shit.
Oh my God, shut up.
The vital instrument power causes it to secrete poo.
No, that's illegal.
Now you're gonna get sepsis when I cut you with this plunger.
No. Please no.
And more of Rudo being completely oblivious, he does not realize what Zanka is talking about or why he's freaking out so much. But it turns into a freaking chase scene. Zanka's running away, and Rudo's just chasing after him, swinging like, "Get back here! I'm gonna kick your ass!"
Meanwhile, Rudo's just like, "I'm winning this fight," and they get picked up by
Engine
in the mom minivan. That's really just a Hummer, and I don't know why he let these two people come into his car caked in shit, but they do live in a giant trash bin, so maybe everything just smells bad.
Yeah, probably. He thinks this entire situation is hilarious. And Rudo's like, "I was fighting with a shit stick. Oh my god, and I was so proud of myself."
We then have Engine have my favorite bit of like weird world building where he goes, "Oh yeah, Zanka, we don't really have rich people in this society because that doesn't make a lot of sense, but he's basically our version of rich people." And I'm like, what? I get it, but
Yeah.
maybe just don't use that character archetype. I don't
know.
You made this choice.
Yeah, but we need this character archetype because the Sasuke is established.
Anyway, time to stop worrying about him because, hey, Boots in the back seat. When did you get here, hot chick?
And like a hot chick, she rides in the back of the car in like not the seatbelt area, but in the trunk space.
Yeah.
Very punk rock.
She's too cool.
Very punk rock, very low-rise jeans, very midriff. What I'm trying to say is very like late 2000s, early 2010s.
She has the low-rise jeans that give her the Zettai Ryuki and the midriff.
Yeah, and also very yet another R name.
Yeah, Rio. Why do so many people have R names in this?
Who knows?
Because it's the garbage names. That's all they have.
Everything's garbage.
Hear that, listeners whose name starts with R?
I'm just saying, Zanka doesn't have an R in his name.
Yeah, because he's not a loser.
And he's their version of rich people.
Yeah.
True. But yeah, Rio immediately latches on to main character, just like, "Hey, so you're the new kid. Whoa, you've got weird hair." We haven't pointed it out yet, but he's got like white hair with black tips, which is not dyed, Rio points out. She thinks it's the coolest thing ever. And Rudo immediately busts in his pants and zones out of reality.
Yeah, she manic pixie dream girls all over him. And will continue to do that for the rest of our reading.
I was going to say, she seems to be doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
She knows it's messing with him. Again, I love the expressions in this manga. Rudo's face while she's mucking with his hair. Mans looks like he is dead. He has died and he has witnessed God.
I will point out, this manga loves doing the most dynamic angle when it does someone looking somewhere. Like, Engine gets a weird, like, face down shot onto him driving, and like, they didn't need to do that, but I'm glad they did.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, they do a lot of Dutch angle.
Yeah, it's sick as hell.
So anyway, they drive into the secret military compound that is then literally just the guild hall from Fairy Tail, and we meet the receptionist, who is like pretty top tier character.
Yeah, pretty top tier character.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I have no
Are we
comment.
wrong? Are we wrong, Jay?
No.
She's really strong.
Yeah.
She's got the magic glasses.
Let's just stab flies with a fork. For as much as this manga does like the very like bog standard shonen thing of, we're going to do the exposition chapter. Here's the introduction to your allies chapter. It does a good job of keeping a lot of secrets. The receptionist lady, Semiyu, that's her name. She uses her vital instrument glasses to do crazy shit like stab flies out of the air with a fork, but also read power levels. So she goes to scan Rudo, and we get a panel of just black and static.
We take a page out of the isekai book, and you can't read his powers, so establish that it's a completely different system, or that he's off the charts, depending on what we want to do later.
Yeah, and her next the next panel is just her looking like, what the fuck?
Which is really confusing because she had to look up from her porno mag to deal with this guy.
I didn't realize that's what that was, but it is.
That's what that is.
Because the only magazines they get down here are the ones that are thrown away from up top.
Yeah. I guess they finished the articles.
They're basically the entire woods down here.
So, yeah, his physical abilities already pretty exceptional. That's how he can do his triangle jumping everywhere. He's really good with vital instruments, but his power is extremely unstable. If he doesn't train with it, he'll blow himself up or something. You know,
Yeah.
classic.
Quick, let's go have him meet the boss. Oh, whoop,
Yeah.
We opened the wrong door. Here's a bunch of Kingdom Hearts characters.
But you know, I love it's like, hey, this is the break room. I'm sure there's only going to be here you can meet that'll be characters for later. Opens the door and it's like, well, here's all the cast that you're going to be meeting later. Shuts door. We'll do that later.
Or maybe not, because some of them are drawn to a level of detail that I'm just like, are they going to be main characters? One of them just looks like a guy from a prison movie. Like,
Yeah. I want to know what's the deal with little hoodie blanket gremlin man.
That's me.
I want to know what the deal is with the Team Magma Grunt standing directly behind Hoodie Blanket Man.
I don't think I want to know what the deal is with the person with the pacifier.
There is always somebody with a pacifier.
So,
in this, the pacifiers have superpowers because of love or something. I don't want to know what that does.
no, Sam, this is very punk rock rave aesthetic. So the pacifier stops you from grinding your teeth off with Molly.
You're right.
Yeah,
Oh.
unfortunately, the pacifier does get a little like eye catch panel along with the little blanket gremlin, and the other two characters we've seen since then. So I guess it means they were important. Who knows? But it's a great just little 2-panel joke where they're like, here's a bunch of main characters. Not going in there today.
We don't have the page count to deal with that.
We'll save that for later. Anyway, here's the boss's room. Now remember, don't think you can just go stomping in there and asking about your main quest or nothing. And nothing comes free down here on the surface, and that includes information. You gotta work your way up. So we're just gonna go say hello to the boss, and the room is empty.
One thing that I really enjoyed, because like you can tell certain things are being decided as they go along. In one chapter, they made a point of using non-gendered pronouns for the boss, and then in the next chapter, they started using masculine pronouns. So the mangaka decided at some point between, I think it was like chapter 6 and chapter 7, that okay, the big boss is gonna be a dude.
And then the receptionist runs up like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, boss is away on business. Do we know when he'll be back? Shrug.
Eventually, when you complete that quest over there.
It's literally go complete the next main story mission and then the boss will be back in town. Like, this is
It's pretty great.
We gotta unlock the boss.
Anyway, that literally on that plot beat, Ryu comes in and is just like, ooh, I'll take the new guy with me. I can bring him on a little mission and he can do a little ride along. And I can
Please
show him
stop.
how a big, tough older sister I am.
Please stop.
I'm sorry, is this too cis confidential for you? Jay?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
All right, but before we do the Monster Mash, which will be the rest of our reading, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And welcome back to the show, folks, where last we left our heroes. Bruto was stymied in his main quest, so I guess we're just going to go off and do a different part of the main quest, where he's going to just kick back, relax, watch Rio take care of some monsters. It'll be fine.
I was about to say, Nothing helps you get over heartbreak of a childhood love like an older sister type who's just willing to completely dote on you. Very manic pixie dream girl.
And she's definitely got the manic part down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why does she have scissors? Why is she like dedicated to scissors as her special item? Oh no.
Why does she
I feel like
fight
there's some
using
symbolism here.
Why does she fight with the scissors by using her legs and feet?
That felt like, nah, using the scissors in her hands would be too easy.
Yeah.
This is also where we get the flashback that establishes I feel like is kind of a retcon that's just like, yeah, there's like 6 like polluted zones and you landed in one of the worst.
Yeah.
The entire world isn't like that necessarily.
Yeah, there are safe zones where it's still dirty, but it's not so like saturated that it's uber toxic. Then there's the polluted zones where trash beasts show up, and then there's no man's land where the air will kill you in like 15 minutes, and the trash beasts are kaiju and it's really fucking dangerous, man. How'd you land there and live? What are you, some kind of freak?
They're all some kind of freaks. That's why they're in the fairy tale guild. I mean the cleaners.
Yep. But I do like how this brings back the whole thing of him just being a little scavenger, because he sees the pile of trash and he's like, this is a mountain of treasure. I'll be able to hoard so much that I can repair and sell off, which, you know, it's nice to see that come back a little bit, because, you know, too often in manga like this, a chapter 1 character quirk will get forgotten about as the story progresses.
Yeah, it's easy to lose non-essential character elements if you don't have a deft hand.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the first bit of this chapter has Ryu going off to do like her main duty. So Rudo gets stuck with the support cast, who are people who are in the cleaners who do not have vital instrument powers.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't make them any less a part of the team, no matter what the givers say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get why they have this interaction, but they sure do speedrun it. Like it's man, Rudo, you're a good guy.
But man, you see this guy in the supporters, he might not have a vital instrument, but he's so cool. His grip strength is like strong enough to crush steel. Sure. I know he can't permakill enemies, but why isn't he on the front lines?
I mean, why is Goofy with Sora?
That is the most profound statement of the evening.
Goofy can't kill Heartless canonically, but can?
He's there to help, I guess.
I mean, in lore, Goofy and Donald are just kind of helping Sora not die. Sora's the only one who can actually kill the Heartless, but
yeah.
In game mechanics, it doesn't matter. Shut up.
So the monsters begin emerging from the forest of trash, which looks really freaking cool. It's like, I love how each of the different like garbage heaps has a different aesthetic going on. Like the one he landed in was like an electronics dump. This one, it's like a thorny forest with a barricade against it. Like it's super like fantasy code, and if it wasn't for all the post-apocalyptic grunge, you could mistake it for some sort of dark fairy tale thing. And these little deer creatures come trundling out, and he's like, holy crap, there's so many of them, we're doomed, we're gonna get overwhelmed.
It's fine, they're all weaklings, they can't even barricade.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, no, just go ahead and clean up the hordes of little ones. Yeah, just to make sure that it doesn't get out of hand. I see. So that's what this mission is.
As they're saying that, the deer get trampled by a herd of buffalo that are even bigger and stronger.
This is not tame. Not tame! Aren't you going to worry about this ones? Nah, they're a little scarier, but I can still kick their asses. See, here's the thing. It's dangerous out here being a cleaner. We do have a dangerous profession. It can be life or death, but you gotta keep a cool head, Rudo. If you can't keep a cool head, then you're just going to get yourself into trouble. Yeah, she's right. I just gotta keep a cool head like Engine did, and Rio does. I can absolutely keep a cool head. It looks like the prow of a battleship. This next monster that crashes out of the forest.
You turn the page, and then I felt like I was just reading Bleach because a hollow just comes out of the forest. His face is made of razor blades. Like,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool head. Keeping a cool head. Right? He goes wide-eyed, gives Rio a thumbs up, and she's like, "This is not fine." This thing is massive and looks really cool. I'm gonna scissor it to death.
Yes.
And we get the weirdest angle of Ryu I've ever seen. Like,
listen, we need to see how low slung them booty shorts are.
These booty shorts are skin tight in every other scene she's in, but in this angle they've decided to be like 4 sizes too big and are actively falling off her.
I don't understand the apparent boob or butt, but lack of butt physics in this manga. I was just very disappointed.
Well, she's the manic pixie dream girl, so she can't be like
super voluptuous.
Yeah.
I know, but that just made it so bad. The angles they were like having her pose, and I'm just like, it feels wrong.
I personally appreciate the fact that these characters are human-shaped, but...
Human-shaped is doing a lot of work with Ryu. The page we're talking about in specific, she kind of... I don't know what's going on here. This manga loves its weird angles.
It sure does. And I love the final panel of this chapter so much. It's just very sketchy. Rudo standing there still with his thumbs up like, "It's okay. I'm keeping my cool." I'm like... Me too, buddy. Me too.
I'm sure it's fine.
That one is going to become a Twitter X a blue sky account banner real quick.
But yeah, Rudo has to now fight all of the monsters with symbolism.
Yeah, she uses her tiny scissors to manifest big scissors that she rides like a skateboard. And she only knows how to scissor with her legs. And I'm like, damn, girl.
I gotta say, I really love these like combat scenes because it makes even like our heroic main characters look really freaking dangerous. Because she's doing like a spin move with the scissors, like scything the heads off all the cannon fodder and killing the buffalo. And it's got her at these like wild angles, hair flying everywhere. Her eyes are just white circles. Like if she was a villain in any other manga, she'd be scary as shit.
I love the color commentary from the side who's just going like, normally you'd use scissors with your hands, but when she transforms her weapon, she uses them with her feet. That's not something you do in polite company. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, so the metaphor is just it's just text. Gotcha.
I don't know. Anyway, support guy punches a bison into like dust and then hurls it into Ryu to cut in half.
Yeah, because he can't permakill it, no vital instrument. And I love this combo move. He yeets the buffalo. She sticks part of the one of the blade of the scissors in the ground, poses up, and then pulls the biggest squat to chop it in half. It's so dynamic.
Oh my.
I mean, this fight is just really like there's a lot of moving parts and action going on, and it kind of just flows really well. It's kind of the opposite of Windbreaker, if you remember that.
Yeah, this manga is very good at like dynamic action scenes. But with all the little buffalo cleared up, Rio goes to fight the big boss Bladehead guy. One of the support dudes is like getting ready to move in to assist her. One of the buffalo isn't quite dead and is about to kill him. Thankfully, Rudo's there. He's feeling a little like dead weight because he's just kind of sitting here watching them do everything. So he's ready to jump in, do his best, prove that he's the real shonen hero he can be. I've got powers too, and oh wait, I don't actually know how to use my powers, and I'm not riding high on the adrenaline of a survival situation directly after my like defining character trauma, so I'm not full of like empowering anger. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna die.
He ends up creating a web of black energy.
I wonder. This is like weird theory crafting here, but I wonder if it's because he picked up a broken part of a fence.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Because what he ends up doing with like the black energy looks like he's trying to make a fence, but there's not enough structure to like actually fill that out. So it kind of just weirdly spools off. And I wondered if there like wasn't enough of an item left to fully like manifest something from it. But
yeah, like if an item is broken and he's trying to manifest the vital energy through it, it's also strange because all the items that he transforms using his gloves then like disintegrate into like ash.
Okay, maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I'm sure it's fine.
It's gotta be fine.
He might be a bad guy. Who knows?
His power might be drawn from darkness. Kingdom Hearts, something.
Darkness, Kingdom Hearts.
It's probably going to be something of just like, oh, if an object hasn't been loved enough to have a soul, pouring anima through it rips it apart.
Just remember, if you're going to love an object, it needs a flared base.
So the big boss monster isn't dying despite getting its head chopped in half.
Yeah, and Ryu's not really sure what to do with that. But ever the shonen protagonist she is decides, I'm just going to keep killing it.
I'm going to hit it till it breaks.
Keep killing it till it's dead.
I'm going to kill it till it dies.
We have a brief interlude with the human traffickers from earlier being captured by the sleep paralysis demon.
No, come on. Not that scary.
I think it's the same guy.
It is the same guy.
It's the same guy.
Extremely terrifying panel of him going, "Where's the spherite?"
Which really means Engine should have let main guy kill him.
Yeah. But before we can go any further on that, it's back to the big fight.
Yeah, Ryu is just like, I don't care that I don't know how to kill this thing. I'm just going to keep killing it till it's dead. And then proceeds to immediately like shave it bald. And then after cutting off all its like weird hair tendril things, notices there's a glowing thing in its brain.
Strike the weak point for massive damage.
Yeah, which is interesting because she'd already like bisected this thing. So
yeah, how did she not hit it the first time? I thought the same thing.
I'm just gonna say, I do not like the panel of its shaved head. The trypophobia did not like that one. You just don't like.
I think it looks neat.
It's so many holes.
I
What's
know,
wrong with holes? You need holes to breathe.
I don't like holes arranged like that.
Wow. You got to get over your like inbuilt biases, Sam. All holes are beautiful.
So it shoots some like energy blasts out of its holes.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Ruro's about to die.
Yes.
But the supporter saves him. Gives a big like heroic speech about how like you can't give up now, man. You've got a goal. You need to stick with your goal and survive until you can reach it. So just get up and run if that's what you got to do. And he's all stoic and shonen energy. Like next panel, monster roars and he looks like he just had his pants.
What?
We get an amazing panel of Ryu like curb stomping her scissors through the back of this thing's head, piercing the tiny part of its brain out through the front of its mouth.
It's so cool.
The big revelation at the end is that its core was a vital instrument, or used to be.
So we had to strike the core of the kaiju in order to destroy it. Wait a minute. I think I know why Jay and Jake like this so much.
This seems familiar for some reason.
Can't imagine why.
And then we cut to them celebrating the mission by drinking in the bar that's in their like clubhouse. And I'm like, yes, perfect, good.
I don't think I want to know what kind of person turned a box cutter knife into a vital instrument?
I've got some
That's a fair
theories. They're
point.
not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we cut to a nice, loud pizza party. They have some pizza. They have some brewskis. They got all their coworkers pretending to be civil with each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's
As all our office parties are.
They've got the person the party is actually for sitting in the corner alone because he's a little edgelord.
He's moping because he was useless during the fight, or at least he thinks he was.
Brief conversation between Rio and the Sasuke.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're discussing the implications of it being vital. And I bring, boy, it's called a manic episode, and you're getting 3 more seasons. Like they couldn't put up a bigger billboard that the bubbly personality that the Manic Pixie Dream Girl shtick is going to come up bad at some point.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous line of work. She'll probably die before she has to pay off all this emotional debt.
She's just like,
oh no, now she's in the main. The debt will come due.
yeah, she looks real somber, being like, the core was a vital instrument. The implications of this are, I don't know what to do about it. So I'm just gonna let the guys in charge figure it out. Let's have pizza!
Whee!
Then we get a support guy coming over to Rudo going like, hello, my name is Grease Rubion. Do you want a lot of exposition about the caste system within our organization? Kind of
Not
dealing
really.
with my own stuff, buddy. Too bad. Here's a deposition on it. We all, us supporters, wish you were givers, but we don't got your cool magic powers. We came here and we loved objects trying to become givers. But we all have worked our way up, and we even think that even if we do get your magic, we'd still respect the little guy. And you never look down on me. It didn't look like Rio looked down on you. Do a lot of people in this organization look down on you? Yes, every last one of them. There's only like 100 people in this organization, including us. Like, you could name names. No. Everyone hates us. And I'm like, but
I haven't. The mangaka hasn't yet established the villain.
yeah, I don't quite understand the stakes here. I felt like this entire like support system was a little speed run.
Well, it's not just that it's speedrunned, but it's also the mangaka is clearly making this up as they go along, and they haven't decided who the in-organization villains are going to be yet from that big splash page from before where it was showing off all the characters.
Yeah.
So at some point, you're going to learn from some of them are going to have this informed character trait.
Because it's interesting because they're setting up like a systemic problem of how the organization is managed, but their organization is technically 100 people, but they've got multiple branches. So effectively, it's like 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that the only characters that we've interacted with so far aren't in that group of problematic ones.
It's like at that point, your problem is 5 people. You have a personal problem. Like, this is a thing you can put a face to, not who knows.
Yeah.
But anyway, main character has now been accepted in his new family, and he's just like, I'm gonna go and join the party. And we cut to our end page where creepy face guy took off his mask and he's got cool dreads, and he murdered the people for information.
Yep.
As you do.
Also, he looks vaguely like main character, so I'm not sure if we're supposed to guess at this point that it's MC's dad, but
who knows?
That does seem like the obvious choice. I also note that it's not exactly the same, but there's similarities in the hairstyle of the silhouette of the organization boss and this guy.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like, I don't think that they're the same character, but there might be some connection there.
I can't tell if the face reveal at the end is supposed to be a face reveal or if they just gave way too much detail to a shadowy visage, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't tell if this is supposed to be the Shadow Man from Detective Conan, if that I know you guys aren't the greatest audience for that, but like the
Yeah, no, I know who you mean.
The like, yes, this person who shouldn't have been in shadow at all was completely a shadow man.
So, favorite character and favorite fight. There's only really like a couple of characters in this. I want to say I liked Sasuke or Zanka, but he's here for like a chapter and a half. I feel like I will like him going forward.
He's got a lot of personality from his chapter at the very least.
Yeah. But for lack of being able to lock him in, I'm going to say Engine. I just like Engine's vibe.
That's fair. Totally hear you there.
Yeah, Gojo is a decent character.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah. And for favorite fight, you know, I do just like the moment where the main character just goes wild, goes stupid, and activates their superpowers. So when Rudo busted out of the human trafficker van and started whipping ass with his unique superpower, I'm just like, hey, no, this is pretty hype. Also, I'm pretty sure he killed that guy by using that tire. This is fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah, the scene with the shadow man who actually murders those guys. I don't see any of the other people alive other than the main guy. So I don't know. My headcanon is that Rudo accidentally killed a bunch of those people.
Yeah. How about you, Jay? Favorite character, favorite fight?
Well, obviously, because I'm so predictable, it's my favorite character is Zanka for his character design. Favorite
Punk rock
fight?
Sasuke?
What?
Punk rock Sasuke?
You know what? Shut up. I like what I like.
I mean, your other alternative is punk rock Gojo, so.
Yeah.
And he's got those weird hand tattoos.
Yeah. Not a huge fan of the hand tattoos. Yeah, so no. Anyway, my favorite fight, I would have to say, I guess it would have to be the fight with the human traffickers or whatever, just because I was particularly just the literal carnage of that fight as he was just a lot.
Yeah.
So for me, it was the most impactful fight in that respect, if that makes sense.
All right, Matt, favorite character, favorite fight?
Oh, I gotta go with Arudo. He's got that mad little gremlin energy. He just wants to make trash better, and he just wants the world to be a slightly better place. And the people he loved most let him down. So now he wants to burn everything and bring Olympus to the common man.
Zeus!
You have deemed this trash. I deem you trashed.
He is gonna ride up the mountains on the back of that weird giant smokestack beast, screaming Zeus.
He needs an inner demon that he can unleash on people to be fully perfect, and the fact that he's got those black hands that are bound in scar bandages, like those are unraveling at some point. Like,
oh yeah,
who are we kidding there?
It's gonna cause problems.
Yeah, because I mean the quote we mentioned earlier about like a thing that is loved gained a soul. What does a thing gain when it is treated like garbage? And our main character boy has been treated like garbage. That's the point. Like,
yep,
yeah.
But yeah, he's fun. And then favorite fight, I think I'll go with the not Gojo Mary Poppins and up those demons because it was real silly. It was real fun. Ryu's fight came really close, but I love when a weapon is really stupid. And Blade Umbrella is just slightly more stupid than Giant Scissors. Not by much, but
I was going to say, that's kind of debatable.
The Umbreaker. And Jacob.
Are you going to bother asking who my favorite character?
Jacob, tell us why you like Ryo so much.
It's just vibes, man. What can I...
And favorite fight?
Favorite fight? Honestly, probably Ryo's. I liked the movement and the dynamic of it. Though the breaking the chains and, turning it into a, black death metal chain bullshit is a pretty good close second.
I gotta say, This has some of the best action we've read in a while.
It really does. Like, this was solid as hell.
It's wacky off the walls action. We've seen better realistic action. Don't want to get that misconstrued, but like this is punk rock in the pit. Like,
yep.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. It scratches that itch.
It's I don't know.
It's good,
really
dumb,
cool.
fun shonen.
Yeah,
it is. So I think that answers would you continue reading it. I definitely would. I loved this.
Yeah, I'd 100% continue reading. This is so much of my jam. This reminds me of so many series I loved, like in my like formative years of manga. So I don't know. This is hitting some weird nostalgia parts while still being like new and unique enough that I don't feel the like utter revulsion I have from just reanimating the corpse of my childhood.
Jacob, would you continue reading?
Actually, probably a bit of a surprise, but for me, no.
Huh.
The thing is, the aesthetic didn't grab me the way it grabbed my co-hosts. Like, nothing wrong with it. It just is not so much my vibe. And there are parts of it that make me wonder if this is going to go in a the world has betrayed me and everything sucks the end kind of direction, which I don't like, because if I experience fiction, I don't want it to just be a parade of misery and then stop.
So, but art shouldn't imitate life?
Not all art has to. This can go in a lot of different directions. And I'd love to do another episode of the podcast. There are other things that we've read that I vibed with more recently. So it's not even a matter of like it's super low on the list. Like I know that there's just so much else that I'd rather read before this, but I'm very curious to see where it goes. And please request we do another episode, because I am curious if like another arc would, push me more definitively in one direction or the other. There was a part of this that gave me somewhat Fire Force vibes, and I did not like our first reading of Fire Force, but our second reading and onward, I got way more. So kind of hoping that might happen with this series too.
Because as we've established, Jacob hates good character gimmicks. Because Arthur is genius. No, Jacob sold his piece on why he had a bad opinion about Arthur in our Fire Force episode, if you want to go check it out.
Yeah.
He was definitely the odd man out in that, but yeah, he had an opinion.
Go ahead and watch all of our Fire Force episodes. First episode got like directly addressed in like the second arc that we read, so that was a bit of a fun experience. Sometimes
when someone says just read the first 30 chapters, it might actually be good advice rather than just a nonsense thing to say.
Yeah. And to be clear, like I didn't have like active complaints about this. I just didn't vibe with it. But I did sort of like get the same impression that I got from Fire Force, where it's like, this could go in a direction I really like, but I don't really feel like committing the time to it unless it's, for the podcast.
Finally, Jay, would you continue reading?
So I actually really, really vibed with aesthetic, even though I had my criticisms about some aspects of it. I don't know what it is about it. It just, when I was reading this, some of the themes, as well as just some of the art, the art style just really reminded me of Dead Man, and I remember really enjoying that series. So for me, it was a bit of nostalgia. That being said, I do also kind of fall into the category. Would I continue reading this, and am I motivated to read more? Yeah, but I'll take my time in doing it. I'd absolutely read more of this for the podcast. Yes.
Yeah, so slightly more enthusiastic.
And Sam, I don't like it when you and me are enthusiastically for something, and then our like apparently friends decide to drag us down. Anyway, I don't know why I started this off. I'm the third part of the accident part.
But yes, thank you everybody once again for tuning into the Over Manga Cast. As always, you can find us on all your social medias where we are at Over Manga Cast.
You can also find us on YouTube where you can like, comment, and subscribe. Give that comment section some love. Don't let it develop into a trash monster or something. I don't know. We also have overmangacast.com. The episodes on YouTube are on a 2-week delay, so that's where you can catch our up-to-date stuff. Which also has a comment section, and give us recommendations. Tell us to read more of... Oh gosh, I can't even pronounce the name of the darn thing.
Gatchiakuta.
Gatchiakuta.
We are making sure to enunciate this because man did the pre-show have a joke that I don't feel like repeating.
To hear all of our cutting room floor jokes, donate to the Patreon we don't have.
Yep. And as always, we appreciate reviews in any and all forms, wherever you can reach out to us. We love hearing from you. We love your recommendations. Hey, if and when this gets an anime, reach out to us. We'll do a part 2. I mean, yeah, we love doing this. So
Absolutely.
And speaking of this, Sam, what are we? Are we reading something good next week? Maybe something that was directly said by Jacob earlier.
Well, yes, it is prophetic that Jake brought up Fire Force because we are going to be diving back in with Fire Force chapters 39 through 66. So if you're keeping up with the show,
it might have been on my mind.
So if you're keeping up with the show, be sure to read that, and we'll see you all next Thursday. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.